A company, somebody call us.
Huh?
Every day.
Hey.
The camera is a...
Hola, hola.
¿A comprar?
They coming. You show me the fish, please. ¿Me hace mirar el pescado, por favor?
¿No para poner una foto?
Sí.
¿No va a comprar?
Me lo va, me lo vas a mirar. Él quiere verlo.
Nada más quiere ver, nada toma.
Look.
Miércoles. Dólar.
Whoa.
Dólar.
Yeah.
Foto.
Mira
Dólar.
qué grande. He's a lot big.
That's grande.
Yeah, they are good
¿A
fish.
comprar?
¿Cuánto sale?
20.
He has $20 for the big
Yeah, I
snapper.
understand 20.
Okay, 20.
It's a lot of
It's a
fish.
big
Does
fish.
he have smaller or no?
El smaller lo tengo.
Because there are only two of us.
Yeah, they have the guy small.
They have a
like
smaller
this,
one,
yeah.
but does he have any smaller also?
¿Tú lo tienes más pequeño?
No, eso. Langota bastante.
No, non comemos langosta
Ah.
nosotros, pero es que estamos solo en dos, eso es mucho para nosotros.
Bastante, poquito. ¿Eh?
Estamos en mucho. Mira, si los otros botes no te lo compras, pasa por aquí, puede ser que
No, ya
pregunte.
venimos de allá, de acá.
Ah, ok, porque tenemos, no sé, lo vamos a pensar. Al momento es mucho para nosotros.
Ese está bueno para baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good
yeah.
for me.
Natural.
I don't know.
He
Can we
doesn't know, he's a-
negotiate? It's more fish than we need. Can
15. Yeah, beer.
Yes, beer.
Oh, it's a big pargo, a snapper.
Big.
Capitán Carmen.
I think I spent too much time in the sun this morning. I'm as red as the can.
Oh. Okay.
says.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pasa.
Hi.
You ready?
Thank you, my friend.
Good.
Yeah. Go piedi.
Italia y Canadá. Si no, espera, que ven, tengo un amigo, puede ser que quiere la cabeza, está aquí. Espera
Ese es para el cocinero.
para él. Sí. Plaki Caminia. Hi, Plaki. Hola. How are you today?
Oh, very
Good. Look at the size of that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
a hogfish.
It's a yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen a hogfish in forever.
Look at it, how many is big.
Where did he get it?
¿Dónde lo tomaste?
Ah, allá afuera.
They told outside here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is, I haven't seen a big one like those.
No, espera. Él quiere.
¿Qué quiere? ¡Ah!
Give it to
¡Saca tripa! ¡Tú limpia!
Hey!
¡Tú limpia!
Entonces, mi hermano.
¿Todo bien?
Bien. I haven't seen a fish like that around here, a hogfish. The one I left one, it was a big one up at barbecue.
Y lo pregunto.
But I told my friend on the radio about it, and the next day it wasn't there anymore. Bugger. So I think someone overheard it on the radio. Can't trust anyone nowadays, people. That is a big fish.
Hey, muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted. Dale. Dale. Dale, Judith. Ay,
Ok. Ciao.
Ai, abbiamo tagliato, ai, ma con pianti. Baby!
Ciao, ciao.
Hola, Pedro.
Again, I'm here, and what's your name? Anthony! Anthony! Oh, I can't go on this side, can I?
Yeah, they have
I don't want to touch that.
lock in this side.
Alright, what do you
Welcome
want done?
on board. Okay. I need only to finish to clean.
Well, you want to fill it, right?
Okay, this is not a snapper. Sorry, guys.
This is a hogfish. Look at this,
hogfish.
people.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that mouth.
Wow.
I've actually seen them. What they do is they bury their nose in the sand. That's why their head's like this. And they get a mouthful of water and they blow, and then all the crustacea and prawns and whatever they eat come out and they eat it. That's why their head's like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
You see, like this is like a dinosaur.
I haven't seen one of these in 2 years here
Wow.
in San Blas. Because they're almost into, this must have been deep. Because everyone shoots them, because they just sit there. Like you can literally grab them, like,
Oh yeah.
well, they're slippery, but you could touch them. At least you could touch them. There's a lot of flesh in that. You could make a good soup out of that.
And for this, I don't give it today because they were. Oh, you give me the head. You give me the head. I don't know. Stop here. The head. Like is very expert to clean the fish.
I know. I've got a sharp knife, people. Anyone watch my vlog? I don't usually have anything good. Are you going to cook the carcass too? In
No,
the soup?
I think so. No,
That you don't want? Okay.
no. It's better I feel it, but I don't know. We have your fish for
For
now.
lunch, yeah.
Is just in marinade sauce, and this is possible. Some we cook it, some we frozen because it's very big.
These scales are so big. I got my scale up.
Here we have two great guys. Then have
Look
to
at
us-
this, people.
Yeah. Wow.
This
What
is the
that?
craw. This is the best scaler ever, and I made it for you. Only $99.95 plus $1,000 tax.
Wow. Oh, these yes, clean very well. They use a fork.
Yeah.
Apargo. Grande.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Hog.
Hog. The guys here help to us to clean the bottom of the boat.
Oh yeah. He'll do mine maybe in a month. Well, I usually do it myself because
I am.
I like to save
Me
20
too,
bucks.
but with my belly, I think so.
with your belly you can't get close enough.
He's coming with all clean fish. Look, oh, so nice, so good.
Okay, so there shouldn't be many bones in that.
Yeah, okay.
There shouldn't be many bones in that. There might be one or two, but they're the lucky bones. Whoever gets it, lucky. Buy a lottery ticket. Well, if you don't choke to death. There you go.
Okay. This is
Salud,
Anthony.
guys.
Anthony,
Anthony
Amir.
and Amir. Salud.
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 Salud, amigo.
And Plucky's busy.
I am busy. I'm doing footage here. I'm doing comedy. I don't understand how the magic's made.
Hey, I'm
people.
filming too, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, on guard. On guard.
Filming
On
you,
guard.
filming me.
On guard. On guard. YouTube boys, eh?
Salud, man.
Oh yeah, so look, I gotta open it. Don't I? Wow, this is cold. See, this is an interesting experience, people. This thing is less than room temperature. I don't know what that is. It's not room temperature, it's less. I mean, it's crazy.
Muy fría.
It's magic. Anyway,
It is magic, really.
it is.
And the funny thing is, it's refrigerated from power from the sun. We take the heat and
That's
convert it to
good,
cold.
people. Oh, I'm getting all cold. How is that? I'm not used to it, people. It's too much
Okay,
magic.
guys. I explained to you, they are here for help us to clean the boat, the bottom, all around.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained today because on and off is not a normal degrees product. Before in Spanish because I don't speak English. Okay, guantes, guante. Ok, aquí están dos de estas que pueden estar bien si no tiene los cepillos. Okay, y I explained then how they use the on and off.
Mm-hmm.
I need the gloves because sometimes stitch you.
The guys are.
Yeah, it's a strong cleaner.
And he told them he just did this job in another boat, you remember. And after they clean with salt water everything, step by step.
Okay.
And if we have a time, they told them it's possible clean all the grain around the top of the boat, all the grain stuff.
Okay.
If they have a
Great.
perfect. Finish your lunch or something.
Muy bien. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
That's looking nice.
How much you got rum and coke?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't need anything. I don't need anything.
I
think we have rum, but no
I
Coke.
have Coke. We have Coke.
No, no.
Oh, we do?
Honestly.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Daniel Parra.
I'll might
Oh.
later. Let's enjoy the wine.
No, Danny,
And
she
then
didn't
how
just
about
say
you
she was
sit
going to give away your Coca-Cola.
down?
We're keeping it free, Danny. Don't worry.
Oh, is it someone coming?
Oh, no. Somebody will be meeting in San Andres. The only thing he drinks is Coca-Cola. So we got fresh grilled red snapper.
It's not a snapper. What is that? No, this is the red snapper. Sure.
We got fresh grilled red snapper. Mmm.
Zucchini.
Grilled zucchini and baked
Potato.
potatoes. Yum.
Just gonna move that
And
for a sec.
potato. Yeah.
All very nicely seasoned and sprinkled with a little bit of mozzarella. Mmm.
Yeah. And something the same for the guys that make a great job. And we are in a beautiful, stunning spot. Really.
We're not gonna
If
wait
you
for
see
the guys.
around, is amazing.
We'll get the guys here too. Dig in, Sir Peter. Help yourself.
See ya.
We'll get the guys here soon.
All right, Maddie.
Lunchtime.
Alrighty. Good.
Capitan. Thank you, Blackie. Take a glass for you.
I've got one.
Okay.
Like he's doing the fridge dive.
Look at this fridge. I mean, you could keep a gimp in there. I mean, you'd be cold, but you know, you have food.
Yeah.
It just goes on forever. It's crazy. You could live in there.
All right, lunchtime.
And we have two guests.
Cervezas por amigos.
We have two guests.
Muchas gracias, amigos.
Igual. Thank you, amigo. Thank you, my friend.
Ah.
Thank you.
Salud.
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 Salud, amigo.
Wait.
I'm drinking air.
Okay.
Trying to lose weight?
Yeah.
That's a bad sound. Gracias por todo, amigos. Hasta mañana.
It's very hard, guys.
They're very, very happy, friendly guys, and really good at helping out Rick on his boat. So we'll see them tomorrow. I think they're going to bring me some bananas. That would be great. What's happening? What's the soup? What's the soup like?
It's the head of the fish that we bought today.
Oh. Oh wow, what'd you put in it? Oh, that looks magnificent. Ooh. Oh, baby.
It's very hot, I think so. How is?
Ah, yeah, excellent, excellent. Probably a bit of, I need a bit more salt, but it's really good. It's hot.
Hot it.
Caliente.
Wow,
Caliente.
super caliente. Salt.
Yeah, salt. But
It's good.
people can salt it themselves.
Yeah. It's very
Look at that.
Yeah. It's a big head. Look.
It's a big head. All of the brains and all of the fat and all of the flesh. Look at that. That's all the cheeks. All the lens is fogging up. Sorry, people. Look. Another McQuality.
Uh-oh, I think so. I need to
See,
weigh.
if I was Vagabond, I'd have a anti-fog membrane going over that.
I need to
But I
weigh.
don't have any of that
no?
rubbish, people. You need to wait.
Yeah, the boat looks a lot better.
Yep.
Finally.
And as you notice, people, Evel Knievel did a jump. He jumped 17 boats and he landed on Captain Rick's boat. So now he's got Evel Knievel's bike.
Hey, Tiki.
So whilst we're all together, Rick,
Yo.
what's your most interesting crew you've ever had?
Most interesting crew. I don't know, I had a lot of professional crew to start with because I was doing charters, so I went through a lot of different crew then, so it was just, 2 weeks at a time, but I think the most interesting stuff has been since we started SSL, and I guess that would be, I mean, I had a lot of fun with, you guys probably know, Expedition Drenched.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate and Jordan, they started out with me on my boat. That was SSL 001.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, they arrived and we did all kinds of new cool stuff. And, we were doing some commercial video production together and just hanging out, having fun and working at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, they were cool. We had a lot of fun. New adventures.
Well, if you've watched my channel, you might be familiar with Fedra and Sal. Fedra was in the Italian crew. I'll put up the episodes what they were. And Sal was in the Scandinavian crew. Fedra was a lovely North Italian, very much like Maddie. Strong, dependable, tough woman. They were both exceptionally, there's so much personality you could have bottled them and put them in like a bottle of champagne, sold it for $1 million. But there was a difference. I was scared of Fedra, but I wasn't scared of Sally. Because Fedra, far out,
Yeah.
in a moment, she could go from smiles to full-on attack mode, right? I mean, a couple of times I was scared for her safety, right? And I'm saying, watch out, watch out. And I'd say that, and she would go let loose with absolute obscenities. And then after the moment's passed, literally 5 seconds, it's all smiles. It's if nothing ever happened.
Don't speak.
What?
Don't speak. I just know your face.
Well, it gives me memories of something I went through one of those episodes with somebody too, and we'll just call her KL.
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 But yeah, this was somebody who definitely had two very distinct, I don't know if you'd call it personalities, like distinctly different personalities, or just bipolar
Like Dr.
or
Jack and
what.
Mr. Hyde.
But she would go from Jekyll to Hyde like that,
Right.
and you'd never know when it was coming. And I remember a couple times locking myself in my cabinet, like, just go away, go to bed. I don't need to deal with this. It's like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Well, I don't think Fedra had any mental disorder. She was just a passionate woman.
Yeah.
Whereas Sal, she was from the army and she used to swear like a trooper. My goodness, every second word was F this, F that. But both a lot of fun people. That's my most interesting crew, I reckon.
I've had a lot of great crew. I gotta say, way more great crew than bad crew. But once in a while, you do get those bad apples.
Yeah, you do. You can't
It
help
happens, so you become wary of them, but I never hold it against anybody as they come on a new crew. Everybody starts with a fresh page and we just see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had some bad crew. I'm part of the original bad crew. It's just that I've been elevated to captain status. Although I'm not a captain, I'm still a boat owner, but you know, roughly captain status. Okay, how about your worst dragging anchor story?
The worst one is actually the first one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, my first sailboat, because I was green just like everybody else that's just firing up and going cruising now on a new boat, doesn't know anything about it. I did the same thing with my first boat. It was a Catalina 30. And I bought it basically to learn how to sail and see how the family liked going out on it. You know, we had our first son. He was maybe 6 months old or 3 months old when we started going out. And
that's the perfect age to learn how to sail, people. Sorry, just interjection.
But yeah, one of the first times we went out on an overnight, we went out to Bosley Island, I think it was, in Georgian Bay. And I was just like everybody else. I don't know nothing about anchoring. It's got an anchor. Okay, throw the anchor out. You learn the hard way. But it was just a little, one of those fluke anchors. Can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, sand fluke.
Yeah, just like a sand fluke. It was maybe 17 or 18 pounds, you know, not very, I think now we call them a lunch hook.
Okay.
But this thing dragged anchor when the wind reversed in the middle of the night, and we ended up blowing up on the beach. And 3 o'clock in the morning.
Like literally, you were banging on the beach?
No, we were heeled over
really?
on the beach.
Yeah, okay.
We couldn't get unstuck. The engine wasn't powerful enough. It had like a 12 horsepower diesel in it. So that wasn't going to get us out. So we ended up calling for assistance, and the Coast Guard came out at 3 o'clock in the morning with like 5 big strapping guys on a big, you know, rigid inflatable. And they all piled on the boat, and we swung the boom out, and they all hung out off the boom and heeling the boat over, and then the thing with the twin engines would start pulling from the bow, and they got us unstuck and then escorted us back to town because it was pretty shitty out. That's why we ended up blowing ashore in the first place. So they took us into shelter, but after that I swore, wow, that is never ever happening to me again.
Okay.
So that's when I started all my captain's training to learn everything I could, and I started with anchors.
Okay, well,
and you should too, people.
That's a good thing. That's good. Okay, we had, my one was on Longreef. We had 50 knots. I was at anchor, gusting obviously, because it's an anchor drag story. Sorry, I forgot what the topic was. And there's a place in Monavale where there's a gap between the mountains, and it really venturi. So this 50, 55 might have been more. And I had one Bruce out. I was in 2.5 meters of water, and I had a fetch of like 15 to 1. But it was so strong, the Bruce was building a mound of sand and dragging, I could see it. It was a mound of sand coming, you know, it was unbelievable. I had to swim out with another anchor and create a bridle. But that was my worst drag, because the worst thing was it's throwing me up into the shallows. And in a fetch of 1 kilometre, the chop was like 4 feet. And so my rudders would have just been completely ruined if we got any shallower. So
Rudders?
Yeah, rudders on a catamaran.
Ah, okay.
But that's my one. But we got out of it. But it's unheard of, unseasonal, stupidly strong winds. But the anchor was functioning perfectly. It's just that it was just exceeding its specifications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when they don't do so well.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Bruce is good for the sand anyway. But then I got a Rockner, and now I've never had a problem, provided there's no weed around people. It's always got to be in sand with the Rockner.
Yeah, Rockner's like a fluke anchor. If it digs up a bunch of weeds, you'll have issues. But it holds in pretty much everything else. That was my first upgrade from a 44-pound Bruce, like the claw anchor. Yeah. That anchor wasn't so good on the boat, but I bought a 70-something pound Rockner, and that anchor was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I loved that anchor. It was good size for the boat. I don't know about storm conditions, but 70 pounds was a lot bigger than what I had. Only place it didn't hold, I was at anchor at Richard Branson's Island in the BVI's one night, recording a special event going on. And I wake up in the morning and I was nowhere close to where I started.
Wow.
And in the middle of the night, I dragged past, I guess, one of the mooring, he's got a few mooring balls in his anchorage there. And one of them, as I was dragging past it, had caught my dinghy and ripped it off the back of the boat.
That's convenient. Oh well, except for the ripping the part.
Yeah, I got in the cockpit and I'm like, where the hell's my dinghy? And I look around the side and my dinghy's up there, tied to a mooring ball. who took my dinghy up and put it on a mooring ball? And then I realized, no, after I realized all the hooks and everything were just broken open and it snapped off, and it just, as the boat had dragged past it, that's when I realized that it hadn't held. But the rock hadn't held anywhere else, but something on the bottom at his anchorage there, I think is just, it must be like hard shale or coral or something with a thin covering on top. But yeah, that was the only place that anchor didn't hold.
Yeah. It could have also been super compacted sand. I think they get that in South Australia. No, you got plenty.
It's shallow.
No, you got plenty of depth.
We're good?
Yeah, I think you're good. Oh, well, I was hooning across here before. Yeah, there's some really densely packed sand, I think in southern Western Australia or South Australia, and no anchor can actually get the point in. I mean, I was thinking you could just dive down and try and rock it in and try and get it, but even then, maybe it just doesn't, it's just too compact. Yeah. But with my Rockner failing, I failed in the Caymans, and literally I think it was 35 knots, and I went up this little inlet perfectly parallel to all the boats. There was all these boats and all these little piers and docks, and I went all the way up past everything, nestled next to this very expensive boat, and didn't touch anything. And then early in the morning I woke up and I went, what's this big friggin' boat next to me for? And I was literally 150 meters up this tiny little river, and I quickly went, is anyone watching? And then I put it in, and the tide had dropped a bit, and I had to like push myself out, and I snuck out. And I mean, I could have caused like hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage, but nah, we missed everything. So there you go. Happens to the best of us and the worst of us. Something about the two girls.
No, it's better find a two girl.
Two girls rather than one guy.
Better than one guy.
I agree, but possibly to be even more double lucky,
So
go
it's
for four girls.
unanimous.
4 girls.
The girls and the guys all agree.
Yes.
And I think so never exists this perfect crew. The perfect crew.
No.
I think so. Every people is unique. Every people have a different education, different soul, and it doesn't exist. It's possible they are good for something, but bad for another size.
Yeah, I agree. But female crew all the way, people.
Yeah.
I might be actually getting lucky in a little while, people. There might actually be some female crew on my boat. Yes, I'll have to clean the boat up, but that's okay. I'll spend the 6 weeks and I'll do it.